beautiful South Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Complete to Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end, Graham. Packer first down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now a first down carry by Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Rodgers. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Our game here, the first of 3 on this Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. And remember, you got 2 more after this. We're followed here by the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then tonight, a good one out in the desert, the Bucs and Cards from Glendale. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. And Graham on the ground. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers! And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 24.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
The Dolphins at 9-5 now on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Tua. Right back to Jalen Waddle for another catch.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers will take over possession here up at the 44. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6.
Rodgers going to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Darnell Savage there to make the tackle.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, they certainly took too long to set up play action, and that gave the pass rush time to get home for its first sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about the quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Rasul Douglas picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes.
And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Number 50, and you block over here. Yeah.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. The kick by Crosby is good.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Here we go, next.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Looking to pass. Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On play action, here's Tua. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Back to the running game with Mostert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defense in front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Play action, now it's Tua. And going deep for Hill. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Open man, here's Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Over here. 26. 50.
Rodgers now on first down. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Rodgers now on first down. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. The kick by Crosby is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Tua, the final shot before half. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
Okay, right.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
On second down, Mostert. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter.
Ready, set.
3rd and 1, and Tua wants to throw it. He is going to find Hill here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Another catch there for Waddle. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Here's a handoff to Mostert running left.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Check right. Set.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Real green. Snap, red.
Tua sets up to pass it.
He'll find his tight end here, DeGuara.
The ball comes out, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here we go, set. .52 blaster. Set, cut.
They'll try and run here with Mostert.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami.
Raheem Mostert, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from capturing the lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Fields it right around the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. But Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we just don't really know. Our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Throwing is Rodgers. Keeps himself under pressure. They got him again. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him. It sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After the turnover, it's Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. Coming up on 2nd and 7. A handoff running left is Mostert. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Nick Needham picks it off. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his third touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 15 now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Rodgers now to throw. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't even save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. Throwing now is Rodgers. Open man, this is Lewis. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's fourth down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
To put it mildly, look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
It's a room to maneuver. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 72 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Crosby connects on the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick six makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal doesn't help them much. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And one more time, that's Watkins. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 23. Back to throw. Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Watkins. Touchdown! Sammy Watkins, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Rodgers to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And the Dolphins are going to recover. And they just about had to get that recovery to have any chance. They only have 1 timeout. You look at the clock, and let's do the math here, Charles. This one's pretty much over.
Yeah, we do have a chart here, don't we, that tells us about the timeouts.
You do. I'm not as smart as you.
And in looking at it, you're exactly right. depth chart's not going to help them here at all. They're pretty much done at this stage. They had to have that recovery.
Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And a short gain down to about the 33. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Now to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. 82 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here we go, set. Red. Set, huh?
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Now a give to Mostert running right. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
As our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Miami, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.